So this is the guitar lesson for Hey Joe. This is the grade 3 version of this song. If you try and play the real version of this song, it would be much harder than grade 3, but it's a little bit simplified. The first 2 beats are going to be silence, and then we're going to come in with 5 and 0. The 5 is on the B string, the 0 is on the E. We're going to have both of them sound at the same time. Then we're going to play a 3 and a 0 on the same 2 strings. Now that's 4, 2, 0 on the G, and we're going to pull those notes off. If you don't know how to do a pull off, you play the note, and you bring this finger that is playing the note, and then we're already on our 2, and we pull this note towards the floor. And it's essentially doing the same as this, but up here. We let that one go as well, and we land on 2 on the D. We're going to play an E chord at that point. Another 2 big E chords, and then that's double 7 on the middle 2 strings of the guitar. We're going to hammer on to 9 on the D. Then double 7 on the G and the B. So we do it twice. So it's like those 3 things. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we play one more 9 on our D. Then we come in down here. Now for grade 3, I always think bar chords are quite difficult things to do at grade 3. If you're on an acoustic, this will be much more challenging. If you're on an electric, you should manage this just with some practice. If you are thinking bar chords are difficult and they seem really hard, I would say, especially at the beginner stages of guitar, nothing is as big a roadblock to guitarists as bar chords. The sooner you get good at them, the sooner you don't have to worry about them anymore. They're definitely something that they're definitely difficult, especially at the start of playing guitar, but they're just things to overcome, and eventually you don't even think twice about playing them. They seem so natural after a while. So we're going to play first finger on our 3, and then our next 3 fingers are going to go 5, 5, 5. Now this is in the middle 4 strings of the guitar. So that's our C chord, and the rhythm goes bass, bass, chord, chord, chord. The next chord is a G chord, and it looks like this. This is 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3. Every single note on the guitar is fretted just now, and it's going to go. So it's going to sound like this for the full bar. Same sort of thing up here. This is a D chord now. Everything's just moved up 2 frets, so now we're on 5s and 7s. Exact same rhythm there. Then we're going to play an E chord down here, and this is an open chord. And that's the repeat point, essentially. We're going to do the same thing again. And then we repeat all of our chords again. And it says vary on repeat. So this means if you do happen to misstep any of your rhythms or anything like that, they're not misstepping at all, they're just being varied, which is handy. So Our next 8 bars are a solo, and the solo is played over the same chords as you just played. So you'll hear the same chords and you have to do an improvised solo. Now, most of the time I would say improvise to start with and then try and write down some ideas just in tab form. The scale we want to use for this would be E minor or E minor blues or E minor pentatonic. Anything like that would work. I'll show you that just now. I'll show you the blues scale because this is one I find guitarists gravitate to the most. That would be 12, then 15, 12, 13, 14, 12, 14, 12, 14, 15, 12, 15, 12, 15. Backwards. If you feel like you've got that, you'll try and play along with me just now. I'll play it at a decent tempo. So. I stopped on the 12 there. Let's do it back down from the 12. Just made more rhythmic sense to stop on the 12 there. So your guitar solo can have lots of different things in it. It's really nice to be guitar-y with your solos. So that means bends, slides, vibrato, things that sometimes other instruments can't use. So or find it much harder to use. You can't really do slides on a piano. You can do glisses, but not really slides. Whereas you also can't do vibrato on a piano. So these are things that you really want to make the use of when you're doing a guitar solo. Any sort of bluesy licks you want to put in as well would sound really good. Anything like that would sound really good over this song. It's kind of like classic rock sort of sound you want to go for. The last couple of lines aren't very hard, but they are new, so we're going to have a look at them just now. They're all quavers, so it's and then we repeat that little part again. Sorry about that last chord. So let's talk a little bit about that. I would practice it using all of my fingers. So 3 on the A string. Then the next 4 notes are going to be on the E string, and you're going to go 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move my first finger to the 2nd fret on the A string. That was 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to keep my first finger on the 2nd fret but go to the E string now. That was 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to move my first finger to the 4th fret on the A string. That was 4, 5, 6, 7. And then a big E chord. Then this same fill. Open E. E chord. Our last chord is an E chord up high, so this is 0, 7, 9, 9, 9. And you'd probably just go like this. And then stop. That is the whole of Hey Joe. Now, bearing in mind, this is not the full version of Hey Joe. Full version of Hey Joe usually sounds like. That sort of deal. But it's a good song to do if you're feeling adventurous and you're doing your Nat 5 guitar. Yeah, it's just a really nice tune. Hope this helped.